Any comment, Isaac? Did you shoot her? Anything you want to say to the family?
Innocent.
My daughter was actually texting her back and forth somewhere around 8 o'clock, and that's when we found out he was there. In the text, she said all black with a black ski mask and black Air Max. And that was the last thing we heard from my daughter. I looked into the sky and I said, Asia, they got him.
This episode will explore the terrible death of 20-year-old Azsia Johnson, a mother of one, at the hands of her ex-boyfriend. About 8:20 p.m. in New York City, Isaac Argro was accused with intentionally killing his ex-girlfriend Johnson by shooting her in the head while she was pushing her baby in a stroller. Isaac wore black jeans and a black sweatshirt. Johnson was pushing the stroller when he approached her, shot her once in the head at close range, and went away. Before we begin this video, we would like to express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends who were severely affected by this horrible crime. We would also like to send condolences to Azia's family and friends. Today's case takes us to New York. New York City, often simply referred to as New York, is one of the most populous cities in the United States and is located in the state of New York. The city has a population of around 8.8 million residents, making it the largest city in the country. New York City is located in the southeastern part of the state of New York, on the northeastern coast of the United States. It is home to numerous iconic landmarks, including the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, Central Park, and the Empire State Building. Azsia Johnson was born in New York. She was born in 2002, but her precise date of birth cannot be confirmed at this time. She was born to Lisa Dessert. She graduated with honors from one of New York's top high schools, having excelled academically. Azsia was a stunning mother who was 20 years old. Her dream was to become a pediatric nurse. Those who knew her said she was a good person. Johnson took excellent care of people and was a wonderful mother. She had been employed since she was 16. When Johnson's romance ended, she was depressed by the breakup of another relationship, and a friend introduced her to Isaac Argro. Before things started to go south in Johnson and Argro's relationship, it was only a month or two into its honeymoon phase. Argro once showed up at Azia's house without permission, according to her mother, and he was angry that Johnson had arrived so late. Red flags, according to her, were raised at that point because Johnson hadn't even asked him to come over. When Johnson returned home, Argro became agitated. His entire demeanor changed. He was breathing heavily and paced back and forth. He ignored Azia's mother's warnings to change his attitude. Then Argro went outside and started doing his drill rap, which is a killer rap. The manner he was pacing back and forth began to frighten the mother. After getting to know him for a month, she sensed something wasn't quite right. He had terrible energy. Johnson moved into a domestic violence shelter to protect her elder child because she was so concerned about his behavior. Johnson, who had a 2-year-old son from a previous relationship, was scared of Argro and debated whether to terminate the pregnancy, but in the end she decided to give life to the child. After that, she visited the doctor to receive medication for an abortion. When she returned home, she sat down and informed her mother that she would take care of her baby even though she couldn't do it herself. As Christmas approached, Isaac, a DefEx delivery man, complained that he wasn't getting paid and quit. However, it's likely that he was let go. Isaac claimed he was working at a terrible job only to provide for a child he had no idea was his. Since 2017, Argro has been the target of 5 prior arrests for offenses ranging from robbery to reckless endangerment. He has reportedly had 3 juvenile offender adjudications for sexual misbehavior, possessing stolen property, and petty larceny, although he has no prior convictions. Azsia went to Argro's house on New Year's Day with the intention of taking some baby things home, but he attempted to stop her. Johnson's mother phoned the police after a weeping call from Johnson, who was pregnant at the time. Johnson was left with cuts on her neck and a black eye after Isaac began assaulting her. She wanted to leave, but he wouldn't let her go, so he began beating her. Following the incident, Johnson dissolved their relationship, but despite her persistent banning of Argro, he persisted in pursuing and harassing her. He apparently succeeded in reaching her over the phone in March, threatening to harm her mother if she doesn't unblock him. Desert, Johnson's mother, reported his behavior to the domestic violence counselor assigned to him following the New Year's Day incident. The counselor informed Desert that Argro was entitled to express his opinions as it was part of his freedom of speech. After giving birth on March 25th, Johnson, whose own father was absent from her life, was devastated that her daughter would not have a father. She took her baby to meet Argro in Queens, but the encounter turned ugly. Johnson went to Argro with the intention of getting him to change after seeing their daughter, but all he did was gaze at the infant and remark, "Your mother is such a bitch." Azia's mother pleaded with her daughter to stop talking to Argro, but Azsia did not listen. Johnson texted her family on June 29, 2022, informing them that she would be meeting her ex-boyfriend Argro, who she believed had promised to send clothes for the baby. They planned to talk about their relationship as well. Regretfully, Johnson was shot at close range at 8:30 p.m. while wheeling her stroller riding 3-month-old baby. The attack did not injure the child. At the scene, Johnson was pronounced deceased. Just prior to the shooting, video footage of a gunman pacing in front of a house was found. Following an investigation, Isaac Argro was taken into custody by the police, charged with murder and unlawful possession of a weapon, and placed with no bond.
Certainly, this is one that shocked and stunned the city. This mother who was just pushing her baby in a stroller when all of a sudden she was shot to death on the street on the Upper East Side. A manhunt ensued ever since. And then finally, yesterday, police tell me the Regional Fugitive Task Force picked up the suspect, arresting him for this murder. And as he was led into court overnight, he told reporters he didn't do it.
Anything you want to say to the family?
Innocent. Innocent.
As Isaac Argro was led into Manhattan criminal court overnight, he told reporters he was innocent. But the 22-year-old Brooklyn man is accused of and charged with the cold-blooded murder of his ex-girlfriend. Azsia Johnson was shot in the head on the Upper East Side execution-style Wednesday night while she pushed the couple's 3-month-old daughter in a stroller.
Every time she texts me and said, "Mommy, he's threatening me," well, I'm on the phone.
Earlier this week, Johnson's mother, Lisa Desort, told us she knew from the second detectives notified her that her daughter had been killed, who was responsible, and feared it was inevitable.
He's going to kill my daughter. Jesus. And he killed my daughter.
The two had been estranged, and the 20-year-old victim sought refuge in a domestic violence shelter. But Desort told us the city failed her daughter. Following Argro's arrest, Mayor Eric Adams said in a statement, "Azsia Johnson's family is hurting. They deserve justice, and we will deliver it." Police tell us that Argro has several prior arrests on his rap sheet. At this point, a lot of people are concerned about the well-being of the victim's children, that 3-month-old girl, and she also has a 2-year-old boy. The victim's mother telling me that they are going to be petitioning to get custody of both of them. That is the latest. Live here in Lower Manhattan, I'm Anthony DiLorenzo, Pix 11 News.
Johnson's mother said her daughter was a caring, carefree mother who adored her kids. As they adjust to their new normal, her family and friends will never forget her. If you would like to stay updated with this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the following video.